founder of Coingecko, which is a website that ranks the potential of different altcoins. It's TM Lee.
Thank you all. So today we're going to be talking about evaluating the potential of alternative cryptocurrencies. Not so much like the crystal ball where you can predict the price of coin, but mainly just some sort of a benchmark that we can look at to determine the success of a coin. I'm TM Lee. You can find me on Twitter at TM Lee. I graduated from Purdue in 2012, and I co-founded a website called Coingecko, which I will get into detail. So Coingecko is a website that quantitatively evaluates the potential of cryptocurrencies based on public data. So we try to get as many public data as we can out there and come up with some sort of a score, some sort of a benchmark to score all those altcoins out there. So now back to the topic. As you can see, there is a bunch of different altcoins out there aside from Bitcoin. You got your Blackcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin. And that's because the Bitcoin code base is open source. Anybody can just take a copy of it, make a few changes, give it a new name, give it a new brand, and there you have a new coin. And right now there's well over like 500 cryptocurrencies out there, but there's actually more than 500. Like just a bunch of them just end up going to the grave. So with so many altcoins out there, you're probably going to ask yourself like, how are cryptocurrencies currently being evaluated? So the first obvious metric to look at will be market capitalization. So otherwise known as market cap. Market cap is the price of the coin multiplied by the supply of the total coin. So it's pretty obvious because a coin that is successful would have a high price and in turn give it a high market cap. And a coin that is bad will probably have a lower price. So this is something that lots of people are looking at to determine a successful coin. But then when you start to look at somewhere on the internet, there is this thread that says that they have a list of the altcoins which are dead. So some coins that had a high market cap in the early days end up going to the grave as well. And that gives you an idea that maybe market capitalization is not enough of a metric to look at to determine a successful coin. But because it's easy to look at, most people are looking at that. Personally, I think that market cap alone is not enough to evaluate a coin, and that brings the need for more ways to evaluate a cryptocurrency. And you got these three products out here, three companies out there: Coinalytics, Bitcoin Pulse, and Coinometrics. What they're doing is they're trying to do some sort of analysis on Bitcoin particularly. They're looking at metrics like number of orders being created, number of transactions that happen every day, how big the community size is. But those guys are only looking at Bitcoin in particular. So what about other altcoins? So what if I'm interested in Litecoin, Dogecoin, Monero? Is there any such product like that? That's where we come in. So Coingecko, we try to collect as many data as we can for all altcoins possible and evaluate against a fair benchmark. So the metrics that we look at would be 5 of this as of now: market cap, trading volume, community size, developer, and public interest. So the first one will be trading volume. So the reason why we included trading volume in our score is because of liquidity. So we look at a bunch of major exchanges out there that trades those altcoins. You've got like your QIPSI, BTCE, exchanges that trade these altcoins. A coin that is successful should have high liquidity. It should make it easy for you to get into the market and get out of the market. You could easily liquidate your coins, liquidate your BTC to Litecoin and back and forth and so on. So liquidity is something that should be considered. And next would be the developer score. So there are a lot of coins that are being created in the past couple of months, and some of the developers just end up going missing, running away, or there's no developer team, maintaining the code base. So what we do is we look at the code base on GitHub, because most of the coin code base are open source, right? So we look at the popularity of the coin in the developer space, and we look at the activities. Are there developers discussing about issues of the coin? Are there contributions from other developers? We look at, is there new code being checked into the code base? So these are things that we use we use this kind of data set to determine the developer metric of the coin. And next up, we got community. So community is something that we look at because of Dogecoin. So Dogecoin was a coin that was a direct copy of Litecoin, and it's a rebrand as the Doge name. And because of the rebrand, they were able to capture a wide audience of community just getting on board with it. And that's the reason why we start to look at community as a metric of a coin. So a coin that is strongly backed by a strong community, or having a community that would decide like what's the direction of the coin would go, will probably keep the coin around for a long time. So the places that they hang out quite often will be Reddit. So there's a subreddit for every cryptocurrency out there. We look at the number of subscribers, number of active users, number of new posts that comes in, comments, how much discussion is going on out there. And Facebook and Twitter, not so important, but because they're out there, we just rope them in as well. This is something that we recently added, public interest. We tried to look at the search result for a particular given coin name. So say, for example, when you search for Bitcoin, how much total result you're getting. You're searching for Dogecoin, how much total result you're getting. And that's the reason we are doing this is because a coin that is popular and a coin that people are talking, a lot of people are talking about, they're going to write like articles, blog posts, they're going to mention it on Twitter, Facebook, and the search engine is probably going to index all those things. And we look at the total result as a benchmark as to how popular these coins are. And we use that Alexa ranking. Alexa ranking so we are looking at Alexa ranking for the website of the cryptocurrency. So say for example, Bitcoin has their own official website, same is true for Litecoin, Dogecoin. The Alexa ranking is influenced by the total visitors that Alexa is able to track. It's not 100% accurate, but it gives you a good guesstimate on how popular the website is for a given coin. So this is a snapshot that I took from our website, Coingecko. I took it yesterday morning, and as you can tell, right now Bitcoin is number 1, Dogecoin and Litecoin number 3. There are some debates as to how accurate this chart is, but like I said, on Coingecko we don't give trading advice. It's merely we're still experimenting with different types of metrics, different types of score, trying to see like where those coins are standing at, aside from just looking at the market cap. So yeah, with so many coins out there, I think every coins are trying to learn from each other. So there are new coins that comes into play, like we have earlier today, Storch coin that comes in, which is really different than what most coins that we get in the early days. So what I'm trying to say is that people are trying to create coins that are getting more and more sophisticated, that maybe our benchmark is not suitable to evaluate them anymore. And we just gotta figure out how to define a success of a coin. And I think at the end of the day, every coin out there just want to go to the moon and be a millionaire. And that's it I have for today. And if you want some Dogecoin, just tweet me at TMD and I'll send you some. Yeah. Cool. That's all. Any questions? Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you make like rankings or lists, it's always like you have to conform to the expectations, right? I mean, if Bitcoin wasn't number 1, no one would take the list seriously. Mm-hmm. Did you feel like that? Did you have to change your metrics in order so that the top rankings would kind of fit in line with everyone's expectations?
Yeah, that is kind of tricky. So we never really thought about that. So what we do is we try to capture all the public metrics, public data out there, and then we just give a weight on all those particular categories, and it just pans out this way. So there is a possibility that Dogecoin would take over Bitcoin, and when that happens, people may start to not believe our benchmark, and that's because we did not set up a good formula to begin with. So we wouldn't tweak our formula just because Bitcoin ends up going number 2. But what I'm saying is that if people start to not we get a lot of opinions now and then saying that our formula is not the way it's supposed to be, and we would have different iterations, tweaking them, adding new data set, and refine those formulas. So I wouldn't say that we would just make changes just because Bitcoin is not number one. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I have one. How do you know about new coins? How do you know when to include in your list?
Right. So we get a lot of emails from the coin creator or the committee of the coin. So sometimes they just send us an email and say, hey, we'd like to see our coin, being added on Coingecko or being developed by Coingecko. And we maintain a list of queue. And every few weeks we will add like new 5 to 10 new coins to our site. And sometimes we hang out a lot on forums or on Reddit, and people are talking about this new coin, and we just end up adding back to it. So it's a little bit of both on the community side and on our end. Yeah. Questions? All right.
How are you guys monetizing?
So right now it's advertising based, which is not the best way of monetizing. But in the next couple of weeks, we are thinking of providing some sort of premium subscription. We will allow our users to gain access to like more insights on the data, historical data, and hopefully that will help them to decide on that. Help them to do like whatever sort of analysis they want to do, like determining which coin to mine or determining which coin to invest in. It could be in any form of. They could use this data to do like whatever stuff they want to do. Right? That will be in the next couple of months, I suppose. Yeah. Cool. All right. Thank you.